morning. So today we are going to do scaling since I am driving a 53 on my left side today. Since I have this, why not take some advantage and see how to move tandems according to weight requirements in Canada and US and play around a little bit. Okay, now I am completely set with everything. Let's go to a scale and get a weighing ticket and see how much weight every single axle has, and then try to move the axles if needed. If not, we will just move them anyways to learn.
Move on the scale, please.
All right, thank you. So I did the scale, and this is how the scale ticket usually looks like. And if you go on the scale, they pretty much ask you two questions. One is that if you want to go for the first weight or reweight. And the second question is if you want the weight to be done in kilograms or pounds. Now, they do ask for a reweight because sometimes when you are overweight on any axle and you adjust and then you go again to get another ticket, in that case, you only have to give them the 4 digits on the ticket that you already have. This way, you don't pay an extra amount, which is comparatively lower than the first weight. And in order to get your weight in kilograms or pounds, it is recommended you get it pounds because then it's easier for you to calculate if you need to move any weight to front or back. It's kind of easier calculation. Now in my case, weight is pretty much okay at all the axles, but we are just going to go through and see how the calculation can be done in an easier way without wasting a lot of time. So in order to understand the weight distribution, I have this dry van here. The weight on my steer axle should be 12,000. The weight on the drive axle should be 34,000, and the weight on the tandems should be 34,000 as per the US rules and regulations for weight management. If this was overweight, like my tandems were overweight, first of all, I will see how much weight it is over. My tandem is over by 500 pounds. So instead of being under 34,000, it is 34,500. Now in this case, all these notches that you see here, they're basically one notch. Moving one notch means you're moving 250 pounds when it's here. And if it's a fifth wheel, so if we see fifth wheel here, this here, moving one notch is basically 500 pounds. So if there is any time that this weight on the steer axle is more, we end up moving the fifth wheel. However, right now we are just considering our tandems. So I'm gonna have to reduce the weight by 2 notches, which is one notch is 250 pounds. So 2 notches are 500 pounds. Just for buffer, instead of moving 2 notches, I'm moving 3 notches. Is one because I want the weight under 34,000 pounds, not just at 9. And I will also see that how much buffer on my drive axle, that if I can even move an extra buffer notch or not. So usually it's possible. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move 3 notches from the tandem to the drive axle in order to bring it down to 33,750 pounds, which will be under 34,000. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and this one is 18th. Now I want this pin to go another 3 notches because I want to move 3 notches in the forward direction. So this is 18, 19, 20, 21. I want this notch to come here. So if I mark from there, it's here. I'm just marking with my foot. and then I want it to be from here. So for me, it's pretty much just like 1 feet, almost 1 feet movement in forward direction. I usually use this method to be precise, but you can use your hands to measure or whatever you feel easier. It's just kind of easy to do. Now I want this pin to go in, so I have to actually, the control is here. You can also read it from here. So we have to first set the parking brakes and then we can put the pin out. So both my brakes are set here. Now we are gonna go and release the pin. So now it's in. Oh, it's inside. Now I'm going to move 3 notches forward. What I basically do is I use my gloves. I always take the corner of my step here as a reference, and I put one glove here just in line with the reference, and then I know that I have to move 1 feet, so I'm gonna take 1 feet from here and put another glove just in front. So all I want now is to move this reference point to match the level of the glove here. That will move 3 notches forward. Okay, now when we are moving the weight in the forward or backward direction, whenever you're doing this, your trailer brakes stays applied and you only release your truck brakes. So the red one is out and the yellow one is in, because you don't want to move the trailer, you only want to move the truck. So this is how it looks from here. Now I'm going from there to this. Just this. Now let's go check where the pin is, and if it should be in 21 from the beginning, because we left it at 18. So if it's in 21, we are good to go. That's all. I do see pin here. Let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It should be here. So I moved an extra buffer. It's here, which is good. So at this point, I have put in the pin. I will move a little and it will come out by itself. And that's all we have to do. I want to make a little correction here. We were moving 3 notches forward. So the pin had to go in the 22 spot, which was correct. Sorry, my bad. I said it 21. Now we have released the pins and everything is good. Let's go check if, okay, after doing this, we have to check that the pin is out from both ends. Now let's say that I have extra weight on my drive axles and it is again by 500 pounds. So the weight is supposed to be under 34,000 pounds, but it is 34,500. So I'm gonna move 2 notches backwards. Now we are doing the same thing, but in this case we will reduce the notches here in the front. Now I already know it's in the 22nd spot and I am reducing 500 pounds, so 2 notches and 1 buffer pound. So I'm gonna move basically 3 notches back, and this pin should come here in the 4th notch. If I start counting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So it should come back to its spot in 18. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my gloves. Put a reference with this corner of my step. And then since now I am moving backwards almost a feet, I'm gonna just put my second glove at the back So now I'm moving back. So now if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So my pin is a bit on this side. I'm gonna just release. Now I will move a little backwards and pin will come back automatically, but this is how it's good enough to have an idea. Let me just compile everything in simplified form of what I did from step to step. First of all, you want to go to the scale and get your scale ticket. Once you get the ticket, you have to look for which axle is overweight, if there is any. If not, just make sure that all the axles have weight limits according to the regulations where you are going. So if you are going to US, make sure before you cross the border, you move the axles. So if you are overweight, then you're gonna see how much weight are you over from the required regulations. Once you figure out that, the third point is you want to make sure how many notches you are going to move. This calculation of moving notches is pretty straightforward. All you want to do is you want to take the amount of the weight that's over and then divide it by 250 if you're moving drivers or tandem axles, and you're going to divide by 500 if you're moving your fifth wheel. Because of the limit that you have, the tandem and drive axle notches is like one notch is 250 pounds and fifth wheel is 500 pounds. Once you do that, last thing you want to do is you want to see if you're moving forwards or backwards. The last step that you want to follow is to do the precise calculation method of moving. I use gloves to do that, which I feel is way more easier, and most of the times it gives me an accurate calculation. This kind of took away that confusion that I already know where I'm going with the positioning of the glove. So that's pretty much it. I hope that helps somebody. Thanks for watching me today. Any concerns, any questions, comments, feel free to write in the comment box. And thank you for supporting this channel. Before steering ahead, let's learn together, and I will see you at the next turn. Thank you.